The strongest men don't always walk with a loud step or wear their power like a badge. Often their strength reveals itself only when the world begins to crack, when silence needs to be filled with presence, not panic. According to the Zodiac, some men are simply born with a gravity, a will, a quiet resilience that others rely on even when they don't fully understand why. Strength has many faces. In astrology, it isn't limited to how much a man can lift or how loud he can speak. It's about who he becomes when the world tests him. These are the moments that separate show from substance. And in that crucible, 5 signs rise above the rest. Men forged not just by circumstance, but by cosmic wiring. Their power is often quiet but unmistakable, steady as the motion of the planets. They don't chase dominance. They embody presence. These are the men who lead without demanding attention, who endure storms without complaint, and who rebuild even while others are still stunned by the collapse. A man's true power begins far beneath the surface, beyond the frame of his body or the tone of his voice. It emerges from clarity of purpose, the refusal to fold under pressure, and the steady heartbeat of responsibility. The Zodiac doesn't hand out power evenly. Some signs are born to hold the line when others fall apart. And these men don't just hold, they transform. In this breakdown from Zodiac News, we explore 5 such signs whose energy defines the essence of true masculine strength. If you're here for insight and not just words, you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe, especially if you're drawn to the kind of knowledge that doesn't sugarcoat. The first force among them is Scorpio. He doesn't show off his strength because he doesn't need to. It's woven deep into his character, like steel beneath calm water. This is the man you'll find still standing when the lights go out, when everyone else is spinning in uncertainty. Scorpio acts without hesitation. He doesn't flinch under pressure. He sharpens. The more chaotic the environment, the clearer his mind becomes. His strength is architectural, built from internal rules and unshakable awareness of who he is. He doesn't break, he recalibrates. When hurt, he doesn't seek pity. He processes, adapts, and comes back stronger. Not for show, not for revenge, but because he was made to survive. And in that survival, he brings a ruthless kind of order to situations where others see only disorder. He's not just intense, he's inevitable. A Scorpio man may not speak first, but when he does, it lands with weight. He sees patterns forming long before others recognize the storm. There's a timeless depth in his stare, as if he's already wrestled the demons you're just starting to notice. Scorpio doesn't fear the shadows. He integrates them, and in that inner alchemy, he becomes someone you can follow even into the fire. He controls himself, situations, emotions, people. It is impossible to force him. He chooses what he will do, and he does. Right behind him is Capricorn, whose strength is born from discipline, not drama. If Scorpio is the warrior, Capricorn is the architect, designing each move with cold logic and consistent effort. He doesn't crave attention, doesn't need slogans, and certainly doesn't ask for permission. He has a plan, and he sticks to it even if the entire world is falling apart around him. The Capricorn man treats setbacks like budget overruns. He factors them in and keeps building. Emotional chaos doesn't penetrate his walls. He doesn't break down, he adjusts. While others might stall, waiting for motivation or a sign, Capricorn wakes up and works. It's not that he doesn't feel things, it is that he refuses to let those feelings run the show. His resilience is methodical, his actions are rarely rushed, and his choices are rooted in long-term gain. Capricorn doesn't crumble. He compresses pressure into diamonds. While others detour for comfort, he chooses the uphill path, knowing that only the disciplined ever truly arrive. His footsteps are careful, but never hesitant. Every move is a statement of intent. Even in silence, you feel his resolve, measured, grounded, and anchored to something larger than ego. This is a man who doesn't speak of legacy, he builds it. He builds it from the inside without noise, without decorations. And when others realize the scale, he is already one step ahead. If you're into these astro deep dives, hit that like button. It helps Zodiac News keep bringing you strength by the stars. Then there's Sagittarius, the free-spirited strategist whose strength lies in unflinching clarity and a bold thirst for growth. He doesn't shout over others or cling to old systems. He breaks through with insight, relying not on brute force, but on razor-sharp thinking and a relentless drive to evolve. Sagittarius adapts rapidly. In times of stress, while others freeze or panic, he becomes sharper, faster. His decisions may seem sudden, but they're built on a quiet stack of analysis and self-trust. Sagittarius doesn't play for approval. In fact, he often walks away from it, guided by his personal truth rather than external validation. You'll never see him cornered because Sagittarius doesn't wait for rescue. He writes his own rules and rewrites them if they stop making sense. There's fire in his optimism, but not the reckless kind, the kind that lights the way in dark places. You may call him idealistic. He'd call it a strategy. His greatest strength is belief, fueled not by fantasy, but by an unwavering sense that growth is always worth the risk. And this is what makes him strong. He is not afraid to change without losing himself. Equally unyielding, but in a quieter, cerebral way, comes Aquarius. At first glance, he may appear distant, maybe even detached. But this detachment is not weakness, it's insulation. Aquarius doesn't rely on emotional validation or external support. His strength comes from independence of thought. He sees patterns others miss. While most react, he strategizes. His mind is always 5 steps ahead, quietly sketching plans that challenge convention and outmaneuver resistance. He is proof that vision is its own kind of power. While others are caught in what is, Aquarius lives in what could be. He isn't seduced by conformity or routine. His thoughts move like satellites, silent, complex, far-reaching. Even when misunderstood, he holds the line. Because he knows, true strength doesn't ask for understanding. It simply acts, and in time, the world catches up. He can lose everything and build it anew without regretting anything. And then, finally, there's Pisces, the sign most people misjudge. Too soft, too emotional, too passive, they say. But they dawn to see what lies beneath the still surface, a core of strength forged through empathy, flexibility, and soulful resilience. Pisces endures, not because he is hardened, but because he refuses to be hardened. His power is not loud, it is persistent. He survives loss, betrayal, abandonment, and remains open. That is a rare kind of strength. In a world obsessed with dominance, Pisces brings the endurance of the heart. He adapts without dissolving. He retreats, not to escape, but to regenerate. And when he returns, it is with vision, compassion, and unshakable intuition. The Pisces man isn't here to dominate. He's here to heal, to connect, to show that resilience can wear the face of kindness. He knows sorrow, but he chooses peace. In the turbulence of life, he becomes the still point, the soul with soft eyes and unshakable resolve. He moves like water, not to escape, but to reach everything, because nothing can contain him, and nothing can corrupt the quiet certainty of his heart. This is not a fighting force. This is an internal system of survival and recovery, reliable, strong. Across these 5 signs, Scorpio, Capricorn, Sagittarius, Aquarius, Pisces, we witness different expressions of masculine strength. Silent will, strategic focus, fearless growth, mental independence, and soulful resilience. These aren't men you see clashing for dominance. These are the ones who stand calm at the center of chaos, the ones others rely on when everything else fails. Their power is not just what they can do, it's who they are. Strength isn't a look, it's a legacy. These are not stereotypes, they're archetypes, blueprints written in the stars. While every sign carries its own strength, these 5 reveal how masculinity can be lived with integrity, purpose, and unspoken power. Whether you see yourself here or recognize someone you admire, let these insights serve as both mirror and map. Astrology, when read well, doesn't limit. It clarifies. It shows us who we are beneath the noise and what we're capable of becoming when we stop performing and start understanding. In the end, strength isn't just about how much a man can hold. It's about what he chooses to carry and how he carries it through the shifting tides of life. If you've recognized someone in these words, or if you see yourself, don't forget to share your sign and birthday in the comments. And if you're still watching, we know you're here for real insight. Give this video a like to support the energy we're building here, and hit subscribe for more Zodiac news that doesn't just entertain, it resonates.